Hey everyone, Eric with Rockin' H. In this tech tip, let's talk about replacing the springs after you've done a wheel swap on your DCP Kenworth W900L. Most of the Kenworth trucks have springs like this. They don't have a hook that goes in the frame like the Peterbilt, so you got to be a little bit more careful so you don't lose these little guys as you're putting it back together. So what I recommend you do is put one of these axles in like you see here. Doesn't matter which one you start with, it's up to you. And then replace that spring just like so. Go underneath that axle, and then it sets right there on those little hooks, for lack of a better word. And then we're going to do that on both sides, just like so. So there we go. And just so you know, it is not uncommon for this housing right here. It's not uncommon for that housing to favor one side. So you might have lots of room on the passenger side and then hardly any room on the driver's side. If that's the case, you can actually take a knife and scooch that over to give yourself a little more room. And if not, you can just dry fit, test fit like I'm doing here to see if it'll slide in easy. It does. And then we're just going to put it in just like we did the passenger side. And we're wanting to go under that axle. And you may need to raise that axle a little bit to help give yourself just a little more wiggle room there. And ta-da. Whoops, didn't get that where I wanted it. No worries, we'll try again. It might take you a couple shots to get this done right. Take your time, there's not a hurry. You don't have any place to be. Okay, and then I don't think I actually got under the axle on the front one, or on the passenger side, so we're going to pull that off and do it again. There we go. And that driver's side is just wanting to give me fits. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to do exactly what I told you we could do. I'm going to take my X-Acto knife right here. I'm going to go in between there. I'm just going to scoot that over just a little bit to give myself a bit more room. I'm holding that axle up a little bit because it does fall down. Okay, and there you go. See right there? Those are both up in the air like so. Now I'm going to take my thumb. I'm going to push those down. And my goal here is to get one of the sides in, and then we're going to do the other. Now, here's the key. You don't want to fumble this frame, because if you let go, those are under tension. They could spring out of there, and then you're going to have a mess because you're going to have lost one. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to push that down with my knife. There we go. And I'm trying to keep this in the camera for you. There we go. So now you can see that spring is under the axle. I'm going to slide that in enough so it doesn't fall out. Then I'm going to go to the driver's side, or excuse me, the passenger side. I'm going to pull that axle out enough so it holds that spring in tension. I'm going to push the spring down with my knife and then move that in with my finger. And there you can see, whoops, there you can see that little spring is right underneath, right above that axle, and voila. Ta-da, all done. So this will work with any of the W900s. I know the T800 has a similar spring setup. The milk tanks have a spring setup just like this. So you'll just kind of have to take a look at the truck you're working on and make sure that, or to see if it's got the right spring for this kind of procedure. That's all there is to it, guys. Enjoy, go make something awesome.